Alright, a lot of people probably won't like what I have to say in this video, but I have to say it, and I have said it on a few streams recently if anybody has caught that, and that is, there is a huge strain of defeatism that I have seen on the right, and part of it is mainly done because a lot of people don't actually want to see an end to the culture war, they don't actually want to win. Deep down, they just want something to moan about. Or in other cases, it's simply the fact that they are so quote-unquote black-pilled that they can't see any way that they can affect change in the world, and that no matter what they do, it's always going to end up with the left winning, thus creating a kind of vicious cycle, a self-fulfilling prophecy, where because they feel they can't do anything, they don't actually do anything, they just complain, and then the left ends up winning another cultural battle. And not only that, there's also a strain of people who don't feel they can do the things that is necessary, or even adopt some of the similar tactics the left use, not in terms of cancel culture or anything like that. I'm talking about gaining control of a culture, gaining control of a country or an institution. They feel that they can't do any of that because it's either beneath them or because they happen to be of a right-wing persuasion. It's impossible. But then the reason why they believe what they believe is because somebody a long time ago, who was, I guess, a liberal, classical liberal, because that's what a lot of conservatives and right-wingers are in this country and in America, created a philosophy, and then the people who wanted to enact change with that philosophy did so. That is why Britain became what it was in the 1600s and in the 1700s. That's why America is what it is, although they had to, of course, fight a war of independence, a revolution, but nonetheless, those ideas were subversive, or at the very least subversive people managed to bring those ideas into the mainstream against absolutists, against churchmen, against whoever it was that the classical liberals were against during the 17th and 18th, and maybe even 19th centuries, because remember, for a very long time, Europe was not this neoliberal hellhole, it was also an absolutist feudal hellhole, especially in the east and central areas. And what I had to say to these people is, please, stop being defeatist, or at the very least, if you're going to be defeatist, leave, go away, continue moaning, but don't try and spread your alarmist negativity and toxicity to everybody else, because ultimately you're doing harm to the cause. And the ones that provoke my ire the most are the ones who just want something to moan about. It's almost as if they're only in politics, or they only have the things that they believe in because they want something to moan about. It's hard to explain, but basically, you've all seen those people. They're the ones who are very, very good at diagnosing certain issues and problems in society, but they don't offer any solutions, mainly because they don't have any solutions, but also because they don't want to provide any solutions. The ones that could feasibly think of things don't do so because they want something to moan about, and because they get addicted to whatever chemical function that does in the brain, they want more of it. But if they fixed the problem, they would have nothing to complain about and thus nothing to fight over and try and get more people to be like them. And to them, I say, go away. The people who want to fix this issue don't need you, and we don't care that you may have nothing to moan about. We're going to come up with solutions. We're going to come up with ideas that might be out of the box. It might not purport to how you think we ought to act and how we ought to feel and think about things, but we're going to do it anyway. And I don't care what you think, and I don't think anybody else should care about what you think, because you're just a bunch of moany minis with nothing actually worth saying. And I hate to say it, but Peter Hitchens is one of those people. He's very good at diagnosing a problem, but not so much in regards to solutions. It's almost as if his black pilling is almost like a brand, like, oh, there's no hope, there's nothing we can do, it's too late, anything that we do now will simply delay the inevitable defeat of our society and civilization. Just give up on it, just moan and complain and diagnose the issues and just sit back and watch the world burn. Well, I'm not one of those people who just like to watch the world burn. I actually would like to make the world a better place for people, because I don't want to live in a socialist hellhole. And as for the people who don't feel like they can't do the things that they need to do in order to win the culture war, you can do it. You just need a lot of self-belief. You need to learn that a lot of the things that the left do in regards to subversion, agitprop, things like that can be done by us. And the best thing about it is we don't even need to lie. We don't need to lie to people to enact change, to subvert things, to expose the left for what they are. We don't need to do any of that. We don't need to lie. They have to lie because their entire position is based on lies. Their ideology is not based on reality. Yes, it's going to take a long time for us to learn how to do these particular things. It's a skill, subversion. You have to learn it. You have to read the right books and try it out in different ways, and it's not always going to work. Do you think that the left, when they started doing these things, had it to a T already because they just so happened to be left-wingers? No, it took them decades. Hell, You can argue it took them centuries to work out what's the best way to infiltrate, the best way to change people's minds, to change the culture of a company or a government. It took them ages. Then once they figured it out, they did it. But of course, they also had a lot of luck in the sense that the people who were defeatist, the people who were complacent on our side all those years ago, didn't do anything against them. We, on the other hand, are facing a group that will do everything in its power to stop us, at least for now anyway. We don't know if they will eventually become complacent like we did, or at least our ancestors did anyway. We have no idea. But just because you think you're right wing or you're a conservative, that you can't do this or that, yes you can. You can do it. Don't be defeatist. You're not defeatist because you want to be defeatist. You're defeatist because you've been browbeaten. You have had hope beaten out of you. You've been beaten down. You need to raise yourself back up. You need to realise that you can do this. You can enact change, no matter how small. Because remember, most of us are not going to be the kind of individual like Julius Caesar who has the power and ability to create change worldwide that will last for years and years and years. Our type of change is much smaller. We can influence individuals, or maybe slight groups of people, and create small legacies for ourselves. But don't think that that's bad. Don't think that that's something that's not worthy of respect, or something that won't have lasting effects on mankind. It will. Because remember, if you manage to teach just a few people these valuable lessons, or maybe teach people about what's going on in the world to wake up, to be red-pilled, I guess, that's doing far more a world of good than anything you could imagine. One person at a time. Even if you don't fully get them to change their worldview, the fact that they start questioning everything as opposed to just blindly taking it all in, that's better than nothing. And it will have knock-on effects on others because they will do the same thing to other people. We all have our part to play. We can't just sit around and do nothing as the left do the very thing that I'm telling us to do. There are a lot of people who are telling us that we must get out while we still can, because again, hope is lost. Nothing can be done. Nothing can be changed. Nothing can be fought for. It's all dead. It's nothing. Go to this other country. Go to Japan. Go to Eastern Europe. Yes, go back to the European Union. Go to all these places. Abandon your country. Abandon the other friends and family that you'll be leaving behind, and let them deal with the shit that you couldn't be arsed, or simply decided that enough is enough, you've lost hope to fight and to change. Is that really what you want to do? Because I don't want to do that. I want to fight. I want to find like-minded people and form networks, maybe political parties, to fight this. I don't want other people to live in this mess. Do you? If you do truly believe that all hope is lost, emigrate. Get out. Get out of the movement even if you want to. That's your decision. But just remember, when you try and make other people think that way too, you're only making it harder for those of us who want to make change, to make the change that we want to make. And I know that some of you honestly want that change, but for whatever reason, you think you can't do it. And the thing is, the right wing is infested with these people. I don't think they are a minority. Hell, I think they could even be a majority of people. And a lot of these people either need to grow a backbone and become rugged individualists like they think they are, and actually do something for a change, and actually try and make the small changes that they think they're not able to do. To join the parties they think will have no effect on their political systems, to try and just engage with things, to try and do as much as they can. Because it's no wonder that you're losing, it's no wonder that you've lost so many culture wars for so many years. But anyway, I've run out of things to say in this short rant. I've said probably what I've needed to say. In fact, I've probably made a video on this subject before. I've said it so many times in streams all over YouTube. Like, I don't think I'm going to change most of these defeatist minds. They seem hell-bent on just losing hope, almost like it's cool, like it's a trendy, fashionable thing to do. Well, I hate to say it, but nihilism isn't cool. Losing hope isn't cool. It's damaging and hurts people. I don't need to explain anything else. What else can I say? Don't be defeatist. Don't be black-pilled. Reject it. I'll see you all later.